Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse One here. Today is still Tuesday. It is May 26, 2020. I wanted to do a second video today for two reasons. I wanted to show you what we got done today and how it looks for the addition area that we're going to have here at the homestead. And I also wanted to talk about the situation with the 4 police officers that arrested the gentleman. They had his knee on his neck for 5 minutes. That's what they're saying. I believe it was 5 minutes, and that the gentleman died. Okay, so some of you may think that this is going to be a anti-police video, but it's not. I'm going to make this a positive police video, and I'm going to explain that in a second. Now, what happened to that gentleman and that gentleman dying, absolutely 100% wrong. Excessive force was absolutely used. The police were 100% in the wrong. Now, let's reverse this a second. If this had been a white man that this had been done to, okay, and that had died in the same manner, it would not be all over the national news, okay? So that's number one. Now, again, this happens, guys, a lot. It's not always, all the police are not always going to be doing the right thing, but a lot of them do, okay? Now, I want you to think about a couple of things. I'm going to get a couple of things right away. So they were like, you can hear this man saying repeatedly, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. They should have done something at that point. Well, here's the problem with that, okay? If you have ever been suffocated before or been in a situation where you cannot breathe, you can't talk. You can't say anything because you can't breathe. I have been in that situation. I have been choked unconscious as a teenager by a fellow young man, which I thought we were screwing around, and we were not. So I ended up having a near-death experience, okay? So I know what it's like to be in a position where you cannot breathe, because when you go to say, hey, I can't breathe, you can't say anything because you can't talk. So let's dispel that one right off the bat. He was able to breathe because he was still talking. Now, excessive force was absolutely used in this situation, okay? We're never going to know the full thing of the situation because they're turning it into a black-white thing, of course, all right? That's part of the problem. That's part of the agenda. That's part of the narrative. And people are not realizing that. This is used to stir the pot, to be anti-police, to be all those horrible police that are doing these horrible things all the time. They're beating down the black man. This happens more to white people than it does to black people. But you'll never see that in the news because it doesn't fit the agenda. Remember that. And if these officers, let's even switch it up again. If these officers had been 4 black officers, it never would have been in the news either. Okay? So let's remember these things, okay? They're trying to vilify the police, make the police look like the bad guy all the time. Not all police officers are bad. I want you to think about something. I've talked to a lot of police officers in my day. I'm from both sides of the aisle, from being, just Joe citizen to being the person that was being arrested. I have been arrested. I have been put in jail, okay? So I'm not talking like, oh, you're just a privileged white man that doesn't have any idea. No, I've been in handcuffs. I've been in the back of the police car. I've taken a ride. I've been fingerprinted and stuff like that. 90%, now let me just rephrase this again so you understand. 90% of your interactions with the police goes by your attitude. If you act like a jerk, the police are going to accelerate the situation. That's how it goes. Okay, we don't know the whole story of this situation with this arrest. Now, of course, because it's a national story and there's all the uproar, first of all, they were put on administrative leave, and now these 4 police officers have been terminated, okay, because they didn't help this poor man. Well, we don't know the situation, guys. And like I said, I'm not, rah police, or I'm not anti-police. But situations happen. We don't know the whole story of the situation. That's number one, okay? What happened? What led up to the situation to that point where that cop had his knee on the back of that guy's neck? If that, now let's think about this for a second. Let's use rationality. If the cops had got there and they said to him, get on the ground, put your hands behind your back, and he did it, he would be alive right now. Think about that. Okay, and I'm going to tell you what, I've dealt with cops that were jerks. And I learned a very, very long time ago, when it comes to the police, that is not a situation you are going to win. Okay? Let's put ourselves in the police officer's position for a moment, if you will. If you will take the time to actually put yourself in their position. You are in a job that is very, very highly stressful job. And before you all jump on here and go, oh, that's because that's what they sign up for, that's what they want, because they're tyrannical and yada, yada, yada. They're doing a job. That's their job. They have a job to do, is to protect and serve. And they deal with scumbags on an everyday basis. Think about that, okay? If you deal with the garbage of society every day, you become jaded, you become cynical, you automatically look at people in a situation that they're guilty first, because it's what you deal with on a constant daily basis. Think about these things. That's what I'm saying. Use your brain before we all jump on the wagon and, oh my God, justice needs to be served and blah, blah, blah. I would like to know the whole situation of what had happened. Now, again, was it necessary for that police officer to have his knee on that gentleman's neck for 5 minutes? Of course not. Okay? So I'm not trying to justify what the police officer did. I'm not trying to make it like he's the victim, because that's not the case with what happened at that point. Okay? But what led up to that? Why did it get to that point? That's what I would be curious to see. Let's bring that truth out, okay, before we just start going and firing for people. Another thing, let's think about this, guys. Police officers are human beings. They make mistakes. They get angry, just like everybody else does. Okay? Because of the fact that they have that badge on, it gives them more authority to be able to do the things that they need to do. Okay? But again, it's how you interact with the police. Like I said, in my younger days, I had plenty of interactions, not always positive with the police. Some have been positive, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them were not when I was younger and foolish. Okay? But whatever the situation was, when the cop came and the cop said to me, either get on the ground, put your hands in the air, whatever he said to me, it's exactly what I did. You know why? Because they can ruin your day. They can make a difference if you have a good day. I'm going to tell you what, my philosophy was always, guess what, I want to go home at the end of the day. I'm going to try to stay out of jail if I can, and I'm not going to give them a hard time. Okay? And that's, so let's, before we all jump to conclusions, a lot of people are jumping to conclusions. These horrible, horrible, horrible police officers, we don't know the full story, okay? Not justifying how it ended up at the end. Not justifying that at all. What happened at the end was a horrible, bad thing, okay? But again, we don't know the full situation of what happened, how it happened, why it happened, what led up to the whole situation. Again, you comply, you get to go home. That's all I know. So I don't know the whole situation, but again, you're talking about a very, very stressful job the police officers do, day in, day out. I want you guys to think about something else. Let's think about, you got that uniform on. Again, I want to put yourself in a police officer's position, and you're going out there day after day after day, and people hate you just because you have that uniform on. I don't care what color you are wearing that uniform. They hate you because you have that uniform on, because they have been trained by the media, by what they, what goes on and stuff like that, to hate the cops. All right? So that's what they do. They automatically hate the cops. They're going to fight every chance that they possibly get. Do you know how frustrating that has to be as a police officer? That every time you turn around, somebody is spitting in your food. Whatever the case may be. All right? You read all the stories. You read all those stories all the time. That things like that happen. I'm going to tell you what. I feel bad for the police officers today, because they got to walk around with kid gloves. They say anything out of line, and people are losing their minds. Everybody expects preferential treatment. And again, at the end of the day, and this is a tragedy what happened to this gentleman. Absolute tragedy. But again, I would like to really know what all the circumstances were before I pass judgment of why the police acted in the manner that they did. I'd like to hear why it went to that next level. Now, if they had body cams on, that would be interesting to see. What you see, the videos that were taken by bystanders, was the end result. So what brought it up to that point? So like I said, that's my thing. I'm always going to keep an open mind on a situation. Unfortunately, this gentleman is dead, okay? That's a tragedy, regardless of what color he is, because he's a human being, okay? But again, was he intoxicated? Was he resistive? Was he trying to fight the police? Well, you know what? If you fight the police, you're going to get your butt handed to you. Everybody has seen all the videos all over YouTube, and guess what? The cops don't care what color you are. It's not about race. This is not about race. The media has made it about race. The people in that area are making it about race, and it's unfortunate that it has to be turned into that tool, and it happens. Okay, we live in a sad, sad world. But again, I want people to realize that not all cops are bad. There's a lot of decent law enforcement officers out there. A lot of them, okay? I have met plenty of them. At my prepper get-together, I met a police officer that came to the event. He was in plain clothes. He wasn't wearing a uniform, okay? Very, very nice guy, down to earth. And again, a very, very thankless job. It's just like nursing. Now nurses are our heroes and wonderful nurses, but where was that all along? It's not there, trust me. But, again, the people that you take care of obviously are going to always be very, very grateful. And it's funny, too, because it's like the people that scream the loudest, that hate the police the most, are the first ones to scream for the police if something goes wrong. Again, I want to hear your guys' feedback. I want to hear what you have to say. But again, let's not jump to conclusions. Let's be rational. Let's get all the facts out there of what happened. Let the investigation happen. Now, see, unfortunately, I'm going to tell you, unfortunately, what has happened. Again, we don't know what the whole situation is. Those 4 cops are going to be thrown to the wolves. That's what's going to end up happening. Because they have to appease people. There'll be some kind of more sensitivity training, garbage, and stuff like that. But I'm going to tell you what. If I'm a police officer and a drugged out individual is coming at me and not listening and being resistive, they get what they get regardless of what color they are. Okay? So, again, please keep an open mind. We don't know all the facts of the situation. We're seeing a little segment of the situation, so we don't know everything. And that's what I say. Again, and who is stirring this up? Think about this, guys. Again, please, I want people to be rational and think about this. The media stirs this up because they have an agenda. They want blacks to hate whites. They want whites to hate blacks, okay? It is a continuous cycle that they have been perpetuating for a very, very long time, and it's a terrible situation. It's a terrible situation. And we continue to feed into it because the media just fans that flame. They love it. They love it. So, anyway, that's what I wanted to say about that. Like I said, I would like to hear your guys' feedback on that as well, and I'd love to hear what you had to say. But anyway, so this is done, cleaned out, okay? This is part of the addition area. It's going to be over here as well. Oh, crap, this thing went nuts on me now. Okay, guys, you know what? My camera went crazy, so I am going to go ahead and sign off. I was going to show you the front, but I'll show you that the next time. Remember, guys, we're all in this together. That's important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important. Oh, see, I'm getting it now. Okay, cool. I was able to fix it. Very good. Okay. Well, I'm going to take you up in the front and show you this. But remember, to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day. Okay? So there's going to have to be some raking done up here. Bill got this squared away as best that he could. But if you remember how low this was through here, okay, now this is all built up. This dirt is all in here now, okay. So this is all nice higher through this whole area. Again, it has to be raked out. We're going to rake it out. But you figure in this area, I can put bed after bed after bed this way, over here, or this way. It doesn't matter. I can get a whole lot of beds in here for raised beds. The center area here is still going to continue to be a regular garden that I do like every year, but the beds are going to be separate, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to do everything yet, but that's what we're going to be working on the rest of this week. Today had to have this part of it done to get this squared away so we could continue on. But again, so that's what's happening. So anyway, guys, I hate when that camera does that with the thing, but I figured out I could fix that, so that was cool. So anyway, that's it for now. I will talk to you all later. I hope everybody's having a good day. It is 91. All right, I got to show you this too. 91 degrees right now, and we are talking, it's about 4:30 in the afternoon. Very, very clear blue skies. Great day for solar today. Solar did fantastic, so very good day. Positive day. We got some things done. We're making progress, and that's what it's all about. Okay? I will talk to you all later. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.